clary sage?
Clary sage is a really great euphoric essential oil done by our great French distiller. Although it says clary sage, it is not a sage.
Okay.
Not a sage at all.
Not a sage.
It's very harmonizing to hormones, and we actually helped to create a poetic pits for the Sir Thrival Company, and it is in the poetic pits because it has great effect on the hypothalamus and in balancing hormonal production.
You know, what is all this that I've been hearing that clary sage is like, watch out for clary sage, it could make you too silly or...
Oh, it's just because it's
What's
quite
that?
euphoric. And I think there's been some experiences where if people have to bottle a lot or they're handling like liters or they're actually distilling it, they get a little silly.
Get a little silly.
Kind of like, they just get silly. And some people have mixed it with champagne, like one drop in a whole thing, and
It adds the
I
silliness
think it might add
factor.
to the euphoric.
Tuberose is another...
Tuberose is a beautiful exotic flower, and it smells exactly like the fresh flower that you get in the Hawaiian lei. And we were so reminisced by that in our travels to Hawaii that we actually made the Lei Lady Lei, which has the tuberose in it.
That is narcotic. Definitely. You can really feel that. Let's go to eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus. Well, there's a whole family of eucalyptuses. We often use the Eucalyptus radiata, the Eucalyptus globulus, the Eucalyptus stageriana, which is like a lemon one. And they're all really good because they're a leaf. It's sort of that doctrine of signature things. So they're all working with any chest things, clearing sinuses. They're all antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. They'll break up congestion and mucus and all that kind of stuff. So they're great to inhale, apply. They're just really great. They're good cleaning workhorses too. I know we are always diffusing it and pouring it in our mop water.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Fennel.
Fennel, beautiful, beautiful distillation. Again, this is from our distillers in Corsica, and they also do the helichrysum, which is one of my favorite oils, the Immortelle, the helichrysum. And this fennel is such a beautiful color, and it is so sweet. You can just add one drop to it, hot water. You have an instant tea. It's quite a gorgeous aroma and very effective, again, for stomach and all those classic things that the herb is used for. And as we mentioned, the Immortelle from the same distiller. Immortelle is one of my favorite essences for skincare. It has an ability to work with scar tissue and to prevent keloids, which is the formation of scar tissue. It's really very cleansing and healing to the skin. It regenerates new skin cells. It's great for blemishes, acne, stretch marks. It just has such an affinity for the skin, and it's very cleansing too. If you have a cut or a wound, you can put it right on there. Yeah, so that's
Immortelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's smelling. Well, they're all my favorite. We'll go into some the furs here.
Oh, yeah.
You want to just start with balsam fir?
Sure. The balsam fir is your classic Canadian tree. We have them all around here, and it's like a classic Christmas tree smell. It's really great. We have that in, I think, the Trees Please and some of those aromas. And we also have the Douglas fir, which is just classic. It reminds me of walking in the Muir Woods or in some of with being within the great redwood forests. I love that one. It almost has an apple note. It's a very fruity fir. That's in the Poetic Pits. And then there's also the grand fir and the silver fir. And the silver fir is beautiful. It's almost a floral fir. And they all have very cleansing and clearing properties. Great to put in a bath. Great to inhale.
Yeah, I love putting, like when we're mopping the floor and stuff like that, I like putting some of the furs, like I put a whole bunch like right in the mopping bucket. And it's so fun because you just mop the floor and you're whole. It's like what pine was really like supposed to smell like.
Well, and pine smells good too, real pine. And we have the beautiful, the large trees behind us are the grand pines that are the same as the distillate oil. And they are such a gorgeous tree. And the oil is amazing. Actually, every part of the tree is amazing, even the inner bark. We were reading that historically natives would use the inner bark, and you can even get out these noodle pieces and cook them like pasta. Not to mention the inner bark has like really high antioxidants and pycnogenol in it. So we love the pine, and that brings us also, I think, to the spruces, to black spruce. Again, such a good affinity for the lungs. Also, putting black spruce right on the adrenals above the kidney is really good for calming and harmonizing the adrenals. You can also combine that with Ylang Ylang, which brings us to Ylang Ylang, which is Ylang Ylang means flower of flowers. It's a beautiful night blooming aroma that comes from a flower tree that's in tropical places. Our distillation comes from Madagascar. And it's just, it's a really special distillation. It's the first, it's the skim off the first 20 minutes. So it's like so potently packed with this gorgeous floral aroma.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing to see that you can take plants from all around the world
And put them together.
Them all in one body.
Well, you know what's interesting, Ron, is that so much research has come out in the last decade about the plants being secondary metabolites. And then when you combine those, the power that comes together from essential oils combined is so exponential that it's like a map of stars. It's like the constellations. Like there's a star and then there's the whole night sky and the power of that. And putting all the essential oils together, they just keep creating new strengths and new diversity. And then together you've got this broad spectrum of potent secondary plant metabolites that come together, that come to harmonize our systems and the aromas that are talking to our hypothalamus. And the interesting thing is, I mean, I certainly don't have it all figured out, but as humans, we have such a interesting relationship to the plant world because our breaths are exchanged. And we like to say the tree exhales and we live. So there's that union going back and forth, that they are breathing in what we're breathing and we're breathing in what they're exuding.
Wow. It could very well be that the trees and the plants actually create the perfect medicine, so to speak, for our bodies because they are responding to what we need naturally. So it only makes sense that you'd put these things as the best things ever to put in your body and on your body.
Yeah, there's harmonize. A reciprocal relationship going on, for sure. Wow.
And I've even heard that when people are growing and having a relationship with the plants, they literally start creating the energy and the nutrients and everything specifically to the person growing it. And I think they respond to our needs and our intentions. So that's really neat.